Today I'm going to show you how to make my chocolate dipped Easter eggs. I have a peanut butter, toasted coconut, and buttercream. I've been making these eggs since my kids were little and they're now in their mid-20s. They are so good, you guys. They're so easy. People used to buy them from me. That's how good they are. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to make them. And I'm looking at you, Wendy. That's my sister. She always wants me to make them. Now you can make them yourself. So I'm starting out with the buttercream, and I'm adding a little bit of cream cheese to some softened butter in my stand mixer. And I'll mix these two together pretty well, just until they're nice and creamy. And then to this, I'm going to add some powdered sugar, a lot of powdered sugar actually. I don't want to give you amounts here. You'll find the recipe link in the description box below, because there are different ways you can double this recipe. You can have this recipe. There are different flavors, so I don't want to give amounts here because you may be altering them based on your needs. So this is going to get really, really thick, like a really thick buttercream. And it's going to make your mixer go crazy. I put my poor KitchenAid mixer through more torture, but it's still kicking. So here it is, and it's looking like real stiff dough, but I'm adding vanilla to it. And once you add the vanilla, it kind of loosens it up a little bit because I add a good amount of vanilla. So now we'll go on to put that aside and go on to the peanut butter ones. And this is just butter and peanut butter to start. And then to this mixture, we'll add powdered sugar as well. And mix that until combined. And both of these, they become like doughs that you can mold into your shapes, your Easter shapes. Easter egg shapes, I mean. See how that's like a nice moldable dough? It's perfect. So I'm scooping these out with a cookie scoop. You don't have to do this. And I'm also portioning them out by weight. So these ones I'm going for 3 ounces or so. But again, you can make them whatever size you want. I've made them where they are a whole pound, huge eggs. I find the 3 ounce to be the best shape because size, because it's just perfect for dipping. You don't have to dip the bottom first, and I'll explain that when we get to the chocolate dipping. And also, it's just the perfect size for one person to cut up and store in the refrigerator until they want another slice. So we've made shaped all the peanut butter ones. Now, and again, you don't have to do this, but I'm portioning out half of the buttercream, and I'm adding toasted, unsweetened coconut to this. I've done it with unsweetened coconut that is not toasted, and I've also done it with shredded sweetened coconut, and I really wanted to try the toasted coconut this time. This is the first time I've tried the toasted coconut, and I love it, and I probably will never go back to the untoasted variety. But I don't particularly like the sweetened coconut because this is already sweet enough, and I feel like the sweetened just adds too much sweetness to it. So just kind of knead that through until it's nice and uniformly mixed. And then do the same, just like what you did with the peanut butter. Portion off pieces and mold them in your hands into an egg shape. And you don't have to be like perfect with the egg shape because these are going to get dipped in chocolate, of course, but it's not that particular that you have this perfectly egg-shaped dough. It doesn't need to be perfect. So once you've done those, then move on to the buttercream. And the buttercream is actually a family favorite for a reason. It's not just Sometimes if you buy buttercream Easter eggs, they're way, way too sweet and they're very stiff. And the addition of the cream cheese in these, it really makes a difference in cutting out the sweetness or cutting down the sweetness and also makes them a little more creamy. So I'm setting up my dipping station. I've got these royal icing decorations that I've made. You can also buy them. You can use sprinkles, you can use melted chocolate, colored chocolate, whatever. And I've also got a dipping fork and I've got my landing tray where they will land when I dip them in the chocolate. And then, of course, my eggs that have been in the fridge for at least an hour. And that's to firm them up. And my melted chocolate in the center. What I used to do is dip each egg in the chocolate on the bottom only, and then let that harden, and then it would be easier to slide off the fork when I went to dip the entire thing in the chocolate. But I found if the eggs are small enough like this, you don't really have to do that. You might have to wiggle it a little bit off of the fork. If you make larger eggs, you will definitely need to dip the bottoms first. And you may need to enrobe them in chocolate versus dipping them in chocolate. So I would just suggest sticking with a smaller egg like this versus larger eggs until you get more familiar with dipping chocolate. By the way, this chocolate is not real chocolate, it's the chocolate coating that you find in craft stores. Don't get Wilton though if you are gluten free, because that is made in a facility that processes wheat. And that is it, you guys. You let them harden. This is the buttercream. It is so creamy, smooth, soft, perfect. And then toasted coconut. That's a little firmer because the coconut makes it a little firmer. Just as delicious. It's got that tropical vibe to it. I absolutely love it. But of course, my favorite will always be peanut butter. And this peanut butter, you guys, it is so creamy, so smooth, so peanut buttery. It blows away anything you'll find at any store. So I hope you get a chance to make these this Easter. Enjoy.